Howdy out there, you fellow LARPers and freaks. So yeah, I was thinking this time to do a review after action report on the gear I used and kind of a basic description of the class I just took. It's a Greenline Tactical Darklab is what they call it. Darklab is a continuation of their Night Fighter course, and so it's a step up from that. You take their Night Fighter course. I've done that I think 3 times now. Learn something new every time, and then you can graduate up to the Darklab class because there's a lot more shooting, a lot more moving, and it's a lot more complicated. And it takes a basic level of skill to even get into the class and take it. So, yeah, I kind of want to go over what my gear was for the first night. It's a 2-night class. I want to go over my rifle setups and my helmet setups and belt setups. So, anyway, the first night, it was pretty daggone chilly. It was raining, near freezing when we started, and it was snowing and below freezing when we ended. So, of course, we start right there at right at dusk to get everything zeroed in and confirmed, and then we just run all night until probably 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, anyway, so the first night of the class, I kind of wanted to switch things up a little bit, and this is the rifle that I ran the first night, and I really wanted to love it. It's a Cobalt Kinetics rifle. I have the Knight's Armaments raised mount on there, and then I had a Aimpoint Comp 5. Surefire light on there, and then the Sandman, or actually the Sierra 5 dead air suppressor. It's a 13 9-inch barrel with a pendant welded barrel on there. So yeah, I really wanted to like this rifle, and this is not a review of this rifle, but I have not had any luck with this rifle. The first 100 rounds I put through it, the trigger pins kept walking out of it. I put them back in, ran another 100 rounds, and they just kept walking out. So anyway, that didn't happen the first night. I actually got this fixed before I went and take the class, but running this rifle, it just wasn't very fun. So second night, I went back to my old trusty rifle. This rifle here, it's a Radian lower, and I like B5 grips because of the straightness of them. This is a 2-stage trigger. The other rifle has a 1-stage trigger in it, but this is a lightning bow. I think it's SSA trigger by Geisley. I really like that trigger. The buffer tube is a Volter A5, and then I took the buffer itself and I bought the Kinetic Consulting buffer. It has a little nubble on the end, and it actually meets up with your BCG, and it keeps that BCG when it goes into your buffer tube, keeps it straighter and reduces recoil. Feels really good. I got a little cheek riser on this. That's the Magpul stock. And then the upper is actually a Roscoe Manufacturing upper I got on sale. It's like a 13.9 barrel. It's a Greenline barrel. So both these barrels are Greenline barrels. Roscoe makes a really nice barrel. Greenline has their own line. So yeah, I really like that barrel. So up here I got the Huxworks flow-through suppressor. It's not as gassy as that thing is over there, that dead air. Yeah, so I don't know, running and training without a flow-through suppressor kind of sucks. Anyway, so that was my thinking. And then, so for the sighting system, it's an EOTech ESPS mounted on a Unity riser, and then I got this offset aim point, Trigicon RMR on there. I don't run backup sights. I just run this as my backup sight, and then I have my other backup sight, which is my Maul C+. Really like that. I had that running on that barrel or that rifle the night before. This is the second night rifle, of course. And then I have the mod light on there that I can't remember which one it is, but the one with the longer throw in it. It's really nice to have a lot of throw. And if you notice here, I just use buttons. I don't use wires. I don't like wires. They're just useless, I think. But anyway, this is the rifle. Sling, by the way, it's a Spiritus System sling. I don't think they make this anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't, because I looked on their website and it wasn't there. So yeah, and I just put a little paracord thingy I made on there so I can grab it and pull. Oh yeah, by the way, airborne charging handle. I really like this charging handle because it's a lot smaller. I've had my charging handle hang up on gear and come out of battery. So anyway, this is my go-to rifle. This is the rifle I ran the second night. And I've ran this rifle, gosh, I don't know how many times in how many classes. One thing about me and my rifles, I don't clean my rifles very often. I don't like to. So anyway, I ended up cleaning, on the last drill of the night, I ended up getting a frickin' double feed. My rifle was filthy. So anyway, clean your rifle. I guess I can't blame the upper on it. It's just my lack of maintenance. Anyway, so let me go, and I'll go over my helmet for the first night. This is the helmet I used. It's an OpsCore ballistic helmet, and I ran my DT NVS's on here. If you take the Night Fighter class, you learn a lot about from Sam Houston about what to buy and not buy. These DT NVS's, the FOM number that people throw out there is really not that important as much as it is just kind of a government thing to set a standard. The most important, I think, is the SNR, the signal to noise ratio. You should always try to buy your nods and have something that's over 38. So anyway, these are over 38. I think they're 38, close to 39 on both of them. So anyway, this helmet here is a large, extra large. I got this helmet because my other helmet, which is a medium large, I thought was too tight. So anyway, I bought this, and this ended up being a little bit too big. So I did upgrade it with the, I think it's 4D or D4, the pads. They're awesome. They're very, very comfy. It's almost like having titties on your head, as Sam would say. So anyway, I ran my my pelters on this one. Again, this is this Night Fighter class at the Empire Gun Range. They have a camping campground kind of close, so at night they require us to run suppressed so we don't piss off the neighbors. So anyway, these work fine for running a bunch of suppressed stuff. So anyway, this is the helmet I wore the first night. So, and then the second night, I ended up switching up. It wasn't as cold the second night. This helmet here, it's a little bit bigger, so I could put a balaclava underneath of it. and then keep my head a little bit warmer. So this is a little too, this helmet here is a little too tight for that. So this is the one I wore the second night. Again, it's an Ops Core fast ballistic helmet. It has, this is again a medium large. I ran the, whatchamacallit, Ops Core amps, I think is what they're called. Pretty sure. Anyway, this is the Ear Pro I wore the second night. These are way better than the other one. So definitely recommend those after running them back to back. Anyway, I got the Shaw Concepts brain bucket on here. I don't run the battery pack on. This is a PVS 31 Alphas. I don't run the battery pack typically. I just run the battery, the AA battery lithium in there. G34 mount. Again, the 4D or D4, whatever they are, pads I run in here. So yeah, again, top, you know, SNR on my PVS 31s, A's, Alphas. These actually, I enjoyed running these way more than the other ones. It's funny because you can run one night and the one the next night, and everything worked out better on this helmet than that. So anyway, this is what I ran the second night. And of course the first night, I started out actually running my training chest rig, which is basically a Spirit Systems chest rig. Couple like Shaw Concepts accessories on there. Now this is what I like to run as my training rig. Got the Luna Concepts harness. Anyway, I didn't need it. It's just with my belt, I had enough room to run all the ammo I needed for anything we were running. So this is the belt I ran. Again, I've done a review on this belt. It's a Haley Strategic, the new one, the V3 or whatever. I can't remember, but it's the new Haley belt. This is the inner belt I ran on it. So this is the belt here, and I'll show you what I ran on it. I go over my gun first. This is the MPS or MSP holster by Tier 1, and this is my MMP. It's the steel version. Surefire Light X300 fits the holster. Just a regular stock trigger. I did end up painting it. I got the EPS or ESP Holosun sight on it, and upgraded the barrel, Griffin armament barrel. So I got the bigger barrel, the longer one with the threaded, so I could run my comp on it. So anyway, running the comp's really nice. Even at night, you don't really get any, the flash really doesn't affect you at all, really. And I can tell you one thing though, it did affect. We were running some drills where we had to bump up against somebody because we're running at night and you only got that 40-degree field of view. So in order to keep yourself from shooting your partner or having your partner shoot you, you needed to be touching each other, so you knew where each other were. And when I say touching, I mean just like next to each other. So I was running that drill with Kyle, and he's like right next to me, and he kept kind of bumping away from me, and I'm like trying to get next to him, and the instructors were like, touch him, and anyway, come to find out after the class, we're all hanging out. Kyle has a big black bunch of soot on his face, and so he's telling me every time I was shooting, I was just blasting him with my muzzle brake here, so that wasn't too fun for him. Anyway, let me go over my basic belt setup. So starting here, I got a S-Tac horizontal mag carrier. This is the one I use for my reloads. It's just right here in front. So yeah, I really like that. I really like it a lot better than running my mags back here on my side like this. I'd rather just go like this. Anyway, so that's where I run my primary reload. Of course, I had some pig gloves. We were wearing gloves because it was pretty chilly. Anyway, so with this holster, go over that real quick. So that's the MSP holster from Tier 1. I got it put on there by the whatchamacallit, this little clippy thing here, so I can change out my holster if I want. I really like this holster, and I kind of rigged it up here so because I was running the Safariland and I wanted retention, but I didn't really use retention that much, and it just was a pain. And my Safariland, actually, just the retention thing just kept sticking on me. So anyway, I figured if I needed retention, I'm just running my rifle, I'd made this little bungee cordy thing that goes around the back of my gun to keep it in the holster. So yeah, so anyway, so if I'm just running my rifle, I'll just put that in there like that, or it actually stays in there pretty good anyway, so I don't even run it like that. So I got the True North little drop down thing. It works better in the plastic. This is the T-Rex Arms strap. I'm going to switch this up to the GBRS. I just ordered that yesterday and see how that works. And then anyway, one of the things I did is I put some Velcro, sticky Velcro on the back side of this, and I got this little Haley Strategic pad thing they have for their chest rigs, and I put that on there to kind of cushion my leg. See that right there? And just making sure you can see it. So anyway, that's the holster. I got this little pouch. I don't really keep anything in there. I could put a grenade in there, I guess, if I wanted, but I don't. Anyway, then I got the Spuds pouch by Spiritus. I can load 2 magazines in this pouch, one in this pouch, and then one right here. So I got 4 mags with me on my belt. Way more comfortable than running it in a chest rig. So yeah. So here I got the Warrior Poet Society IFAK, a little tourniquet up here, my trauma shears here, and then another War Poet Society dagger thing. So anyway, I don't think I'll ever need that, but just put it on there because it's cool. And then so I got the Justa pouch from Spiritus as well. Got the little Lunar Concepts insert in here, which is really nice. You got a pistol mag and a rifle mag, 5.56 mag. And then what I did is I wrapped a piece of cord around it, and then so I can tighten everything down. It keeps it a little bit more compact. So, but basically what I carry in here, I carry this little Olight. It has a little laser on it, and which is kind of cool. And then also I carry a multi-tool, little aim point adjustment tool on it. I think I got it from Mark Smith at JBS training. Anyway, he was giving them out one of the classes I took. And I got another pen here, like felt pens that draw big letters, numbers, because of my eyeballs. So anyway, a little field notebook here. Always have a notebook with you. So anyway, that's what I keep in this pouch. It's just my general pouch. And then I got my canted mags for pistols. The S-Tac. I got the one with the magnet in it, which is really nice. So you can put your mag you're going to load up when you step onto the range in there. And then you have 2 other mags, and then you can put a mag there if you're using it, and then shoot. If you're just running a pistol class, you can actually put 2 mags here, 1 mag there, 1 mag there, and 1 mag there. So you got a total of 5 mags on your belt. And then you can put 1 magnet there for your initial load up. So anyway, that's about it for the belt. Haley's belt. Again, I got the I got the first belt they made. I didn't like that too much, but I love this belt. It's the best belt I've run. I got probably half a dozen other belts that I've ran, and this is by far the best one so far. Let me see what else I got in here. Oh yeah. So by the way, I did do a little bit of filming, and how I did that is I have my PVS 14, which is what I started with in the very beginning. Gosh, like 5 years ago was when I took my first class with this. So I ran this, and then, anyway, had this little attachment I got here from Amazon. It goes on the back, and either you can hook your phone here, or in my case I just hooked a GoPro to it. GoPro, I think it was 12, and I just mounted this on my tripod, my shooting tripod, and just clamped it down, and I just set it there because I was running the class. I couldn't really run around and film. I wasn't there for that. I was there for running drills. But this is pretty cool. With the new GoPro, you can actually hook it to your phone, so you can actually run it remotely. And then, so yeah, that was it. I really like the system I have dialed in now. So yeah.